Yo, what's going on, my buddies? Totaljophes coming at you with a little bit of a story and a lesson that every single gamer out there needs to know. Okay, so, for those of you who may have watched my top 10 video games of all time video, you know that Tales of Xillia is my number 3 favorite game of all time. Now, I've got a little bit of a story behind this, and in that video I definitely did go into it, but I'm going to share it in a bit more detail now. And the reason why I'm sharing that is because it holds a very valuable lesson for every gamer in the world, no matter what sort of game that you're into. Be it RPGs, shooters, sports games, racing games, whatever you might be into. So, starting off the story, I don't remember exactly why, but for one reason or another, there was a while ago when my girlfriend and I had a bunch of spare cash and nothing to spend it on. So, we decided to go to Walmart. See what we could go there, see what we could find there. I mean, we went to a bunch of other places before that. But, we ended up at Walmart. We ended up seeing, in the game section, because we're gamers, we browse the game section a lot, we ended up seeing Tales of Xillia, I think, like a limited edition or something like that. Came with an art book and a soundtrack, that sort of thing. But, see, here's the thing. I had never heard of the Tales games before, at that point in time. Which, yeah, I know, that's stupid, considering that they are a pretty big series, but, yeah. I'd never heard of it before. And, the cover wasn't exactly doing it for me, because they had the games locked behind the glass case. I couldn't look at the back or anything, couldn't really figure anything out about it. But my girlfriend, on the other hand, she was like, hey, this looks pretty cool. We should try it out. And I was like, well, we've never heard about this game before. Are you sure you want to try it out? Are you sure you wouldn't rather pick a game that, we know is good but haven't played? Or maybe a sequel to a game that we loved? Something like that? She said, no, I want to play this game. This game looks really good. She just kind of has this knack for picking games based off the cover, but that's not the important part. So I succumbed. I was like, okay, we'll get this one. We'll take it home. We'll try it out. Now, I took it home, and here's where the lesson starts to come in. I popped it in my PS3, started playing it, okay? Started off a little slow. I wasn't all that into it. Played maybe an hour or two into it, something like that, and it just wasn't doing it for me. I don't know. It was starting off kind of slow. The story wasn't really gripping me much. The gameplay was fun, but, I play JRPGs for the story more than anything, and, the story started off a little bit slow, so I was like, this isn't really doing it for me, so I kind of dropped it partway through, and went on to other games, okay? So one day, months later, maybe even a year or two later, who knows, but it was a while, I see Tales of Xillia in my game collection, and I'm like, I only did play a couple hours into that game. Maybe I should try again. So, I popped it in my PS3, played it, okay? I got past the point where I stopped the first time. Because, I started over because I didn't remember how the story was going at that point. And the further I got, the better the game got. Like, I got past the first couple hours, and it started really improving. The story started really pulling me in. The gameplay started really wowing me rather than it just being good. It was amazing. And I realized that I made a massive, massive mistake by only playing a couple hours into the game and judging it just because of that. Now, this is what the lesson I'm trying to teach is if you're picking up a new game, never judge it by the first few hours. Now, granted, I'm not saying like the first 10 hours, but I'm saying by maybe the first 2 or 3. If it doesn't get good after that, maybe it won't get good, I don't know, but all I know is for sure, if I never went back to Tales of Xillia and played past those first couple of hours, I never would have found my 3rd favorite game of all time. Because once I played past those few hours, once I got to the meat of the game, oh man, did I fall in love with it. Oh, I mean, obviously, because it is my 3rd favorite game of all time. And I know that it's not the only game that suffers from that sort of a thing, where it might start off a little bit slow, where it needs to establish the world or establish the characters or, do something you might not be as interested in at first. But I urge you, keep playing just for a couple more hours. If it still doesn't grab your attention, then call it. But honestly, I've made that mistake more than once. It wasn't just Tales of Xillia. I made that same mistake with, Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. I made that same mistake with that game. That game ended up really good. It wasn't one of my favorites, but it was really good. And I quit after the first, hour or two, because it wasn't really capturing my attention. And I know those weren't actually the only games, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. But this is the lesson I'm trying to teach. If you are a gamer, and you're getting a game, give it more than a few hours to grab your attention. Some games start off slowly, and you never know if once you get past those first couple of hours, this game is going to be one of your favorite games of all time. Hell, I mean, all things considered, it might even become your favorite ever. Like, if, say, I don't know, The Witcher 3 is your favorite RPG of all time, but you pick up, Final Fantasy VII, for instance. And, you're not too into the whole, bombing the reactor, underground sort of team fighting against a company thing. Play onwards. Keep playing. Because it opens up into a massive fantasy adventure filled with ancient civilizations and evil villains and destructive goals and all sorts of really cool shit. So, gamers everywhere, do not judge a game by the first couple of hours. Play on, and you never know what you'll find. So, what do you guys think about this? I'm sure it's probably a lesson that a lot of you already know, but it's probably also a lesson that a lot of you don't. I know I didn't, honestly, and I feel really stupid because of that. But definitely tell me what you guys think about this. Tell me if you're going to go back and go play a game that you only played a couple hours of to see if maybe it gets better later on. Tell me if you're going to do that, or if you kind of already do that, like if you already learned that lesson. Leave all of that in the comment section down below. Definitely leave a like on this video because everybody needs to know this lesson. Every gamer needs to know this. And definitely subscribe for future videos because I'll be uploading multiple videos every week as usual. So, that'd be about it. So until next time, stay pretty, my buddies.